Hello and welcome back to Everybody Loves Raiken, our 5th edition live play that meets every Tuesday night. Last time we met, which was 3 weeks ago, unfortunately we had some scheduling conflicts in the interim. The party had finally gotten back their long-lost paladin, Raiken. Titular character, totally everybody likes him and wanted him back really badly. So we did that. We got him back. Woo! Vendar was very pushy to get everybody out of the Feywild, as he did not want to miss his sister's wedding for anything in the world. And despite many of the party members expressing an interest in remaining in the Feywild, or at least Leah, and seeing more about what goes on in a Fey court, and in spite of the many jarring, shall we say, sights that they had already borne witness to in the supposedly 15 minutes they'd been there, attempting to convince the party to stay, Vendar was able to convince the party to adjourn and return to the material plane. Raiken had stepped away momentarily, saying that he needed to say goodbye to someone, returned to the party, and the party promptly left. Teleporting, utilizing Leah's plane shift ability, and targeting the teleportation circle in the Mages Guild of Everwatch, the capital city of Aspara. Upon appearing in the Mages Guild, and attempting to leave and find this wedding, they ran directly into Lady Draknir, Vendar's own mother, who had apparently been informed that they were soon to arrive, and had come to fetch them to the wedding. They followed her up the slopes to what is known as the Brilliant Plaza, at the top of the hill of Everwatch. In the court of this Temple of Pelor, they witnessed the joining of Lilith Draknir, the head of the household of the Draknir family since the passing of their father, and Garant Belgrin, son of the Empress of the nation of Aspara. The Empress Katerina said some words about how power would transfer over the next couple years, as her son and her new daughter would be taking up her responsibilities as leader of the nation. At this point, things devolved into, the people's celebration as carts and shops opened their doors and provided food and drink to everyone in attendance, which appeared to be a large portion of the town, especially its upper-class citizens. As the crowd here broke up to enjoy this, I guess what would be the reception of a modern wedding, Lady Draknir pulled the party away to the mansion in which she has been put up by the Empress, stating that they should get Vendar's older brother, Vakaris, away from the crowd, as, things are going to be less predictable. The party has noticed that Vakaris seems to be unnaturally subdued and has a bit of a twitch to him, so that is yet to be explored in any measure. The party was taken to this building here, which, as a citizen of Aspara and a frequent visitor to the capital city, Vendar, you would be aware, is generally known as Boarhunter Lodge, but it is a very prominent and prestigious building within the city, and that it has been given to your mother to use as a domicile speaks very highly of her rank as a nobleman. So, I will bring us back. Oop. Whoops, too much. Bring back some of the furnishings. There we go. Lock that. And I believe I have I do. Fetch the players to this location. You are allowed to enter the lounge here, which is stocked with food and drink. As we had left off, people were feeding themselves, and Raiken and Tatsuya had begun to challenge one another to a drinking contest.
It's going to make it very difficult to get answers out of Raiken.
A little bit.
Or very easy.
It's going to be very easy to get answers out of him. It's going to be very difficult to get useful answers out of him.
So why don't we do... let's start with some roleplay here, and then I'd like to skip over to... You'll notice that Vendar is not in this room, as he was drawn away from the rest of the party by his mother. They have gone off to some other part of the house to speak. Laramentis, you seem to want things. Why don't you start us off while as the Dragonborn are currently off behind your token here, double fisting alcoholic beverages and downing them to see who can do it fastest.
Of course, the only way.
You think they might be counting.
Laramentis is counting. He's not happy about it, but he is keeping track.
Can't there just be... Can't we have apprehended a barrel of it? And have it there?
Technically you have. This is a private residence at this point, and this room is stocked. I've lit up some kegs back here. Say that I did not forget to put such props in here to let you know. Yeah, there's a generous supply of alcohol here, and if they are not dissuaded from partaking, they will be able to become quite inebriated.
Yeah, we have a barrel.
However, they are dragon, so they should be able to hold their liquor somewhat.
Maybe.
We'll see. The dice will tell a different story. Laramentis is going to go over to the Dragonborn and say, before you get too deep into your cups, would you mind handing me the residuum so that it may be split into different amounts split into different piles, so that those of us who cast spells might make use of it if anything happens to one of us.
Yukikaze hands Laramentis a drink.
Thank you.
Wait, isn't that the brothers? Those Yukikaze's? There you go. There's
Yeah,
Yukikaze.
I moved Yukikaze over.
Okay, I'm just a little late.
It's because of the delay, sorry. So now there's 3 Dragonborn and an elf over here.
Oh my god, this is the best party ever. Should I roll?
You want to roll for seeing if you're too inebriated to respond to him? Sure, yeah, please. Let's say that, you and your brother really started racing each other, and so even before Laramentis could rush over, I think you probably got 2 or 3 down. So let's go with 3 Constitution saving throws. The first one is going to be DC 8. The second is going to be DC 10. And the third is going to be DC 14.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I made the first one.
Okay.
And you fail that one?
It should be pretty hard for him to fail the 8s.
I made the second one.
Okay. The last one's 14.
Yeah, he's gone.
And that's the problem.
It's like, before you get too deep in your, he just slammed another one back.
Yeah.
You're not gonna beat me at this game, brother.
Yes, I
Give me your
will. This
bag.
liquor's just going down my throat.
Let's see.
I'm gonna try and tell everyone, he's probably drunk enough he won't notice if you just take it.
I mean, I could just take it. I'd rather him give it to me. I can arcane lock it if you give it to me. I don't have it. I turn to everyone else. I don't have it prepared today.
Didn't say win.
Just like a stage whisper.
What do you want, Armandus?
I would like your bag. I'm going to take it upstairs into a bedroom so that you don't need to worry about it.
Oh, you're so kind, Armandus. That'll help me, help with my arms. I'll be able to pull back drinks faster than my brother here.
Don't give him any advantages.
I can take your bag as well so that it's not any... there's no change in situation.
It'll be a fair fight.
Yeah, Raiken will hand the bag, but as he's handing the bag, he's already chugging another drink.
Lerman also extends his other hand to Tatsuya for his bag, since he had said that he would bring it up.
I'm pacing myself, but I'm keeping their cups full and watching the amusement.
Tatsuya's on his fourth, but he doesn't
enabler.
seem to be as wobbly as Raiken does.
They each
Yeah,
have
you can
two
almost
mugs
make it
in
better.
front of them,
Yeah.
and just like as they drink one, Yukaze's filling up the other, and then they just swap that way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is she leaving?
Yeah, it's just Leah's going out to get some fresh air with Lorelai.
Okay.
While the debacle is going in there, she figured that she can now quickly go out without anyone noticing.
Okay.
The adult supervision is far gone.
Yeah, no, everybody's kind of very distracted by the increasing volume of the Dragonborn.
Jebel might be in a situation where he could notice and care.
It's possible. Jebel, what is your relation to everything that is going on? Are you paying attention to the Dragonborn? Are you eating? What is it that you are doing during this scene?
I don't know. I don't know where I am.
Oh, sorry.
there I
There
am.
you are. You were hiding behind the support beam.
Is Raiken's making a fool of himself, is he?
I mean, there's a lot of that going around, yeah.
What else is new? Yeah, I'm watching this. Probably picking at a bit of food here and there, but yeah, watching.
Alright, what's your passive perception?
19.
Damn. Leah, I'll let you roll sneak since you are trying to get away while they're arguing, so you're taking advantage of that and just trying to be quiet, not draw a lot of attention. So why don't you roll some stealth?
Okay, so it's a +8. So that's a 20.
Alright. Sorry, Jebel, your impressive perception is just not enough to allow you to notice Leah slipping out of the room as this fight and your food are just too interesting. Fight is probably the wrong word, but it's a fight. This competition. Tatsuya is raising his glasses tauntingly and saying, "It looks like you're slipping, little brother. I can see you're sloshing some drink there."
Well, whatever I might be sloshing, I'm still drinking more than you.
I'm going to
Slow
explore.
poke.
What was that, Jebel?
I grab a plate, put some appropriate food on it, and I'm just going to explore. I want to see what else is in this place.
Okay, so you're gonna wander off too. I think that everybody else is dealing with the Dragonborn, so everybody feel like it's reasonable that he could wander off without being noticed, or would you be truly paying attention to Jebel during all of this?
I mean, he could wander off without me noticing, or at the very least commenting.
Yeah.
Like,
I know
I
Tatsuya
might
doesn't.
notice, I might not, but I'd probably just be waiting for Lerman just to try and get the residuum because I want to go with him.
Yeah, you can wander off. Yuki, you seem to be involved in this, trying to get Lair to drink too.
Oh yeah.
Laramanus has not had a sip of what you handed him.
I'm watching intensely though, looking up at you, looking at your glass, looking up at you, looking at your glass.
he's pressuring you there.
Bendis, it's very it's bad taste to not drink with all of us. You're hurting our feelings.
I don't want to spill it on your bag. It would be.
All right, I was supposed to give you my bag. He's like, as Tatsuya finishes.
Take my bag back.
No. I need that bag.
Tatsuya like finishes one of the drinks in one of his hands and slams it down on the counter and like shrugs the bag off of that shoulder, transferring the drink, and then slinging the bag completely haphazardly at you there.
I'm gonna make a dex check.
That's a good idea.
So that's for just a check, that would be a 19. And now I'm gonna make a strength check.
Yeah,
his bag, Raiken's bag is a bag of holding.
Yeah.
And is therefore not super heavy.
Yeah, Tatsuya's is not.
Tatsuya's, however...
You're reading my mind here, but go for it.
That is... 0.
Wow, amazing. Reflexes like lightning. You actually manage to, like, move the drink such that it doesn't get knocked out of your hand. You get a hand under the bag and manage to, like, move your body such that you catch it with your center of mass. And then you get completely bowled over. The drink flies up in the air. You roll backwards almost into the hearth with this bag of heavy equipment tumbling on top of you, swooshing you into the floor. And then the drink comes down on top.
The wine spills on me, but I catch the glass upright.
Yeah, you catch the glass upright. Unfortunately, none of the contents are still in it.
Yeah, they're all on me.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I might need a refill. I say to Yukikaze.
What a waste of good drink.
You weren't even part of the drinking contest, and somehow you ended up on the floor.
True. I mean, I was going to say, given my constitution, that was not a surprise, but I have 14 constitution. It's surprisingly decent. Larendus gets up, prestidigitates himself, says, I'm going to take these bags upstairs now.
Tatsuya, now without a bag holding him back, waggles his drink in front of your face, Raiken, and says, "Come on, brother, number 9!
What? I'm already on 11.
You're on 8. I say as I leave.
Tatsuya had already narrowed his eyes at you. And then as he says that, leaving, like, he just points at him. No cheating, younger brother!
Vengeance, I'll remember that.
I'm not sure you will.
So you have gotten both of the bags, Lair, and you extricate yourself from the room. I assume prestidigitating yourself.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure. Oh, okay. I had to right click to get out of the
menus. Yeah, a little annoying. I always forget that myself. All right. Give me just a moment to check on Leah.
Yeah.
There she is. Leah, you are outside, within the fenced-in area. The city bustling about you as you see, hundreds upon hundreds of people moving between wagons and carts and storefronts, and moving up and down the lanes. You are at the top of this hill, surrounded by large buildings. I've only built the 2 of them at the moment, but you've got the mansion behind you, the Temple of Pelor across the way, and then that big open space over to the east, will maybe someday, contains the Tower of Everwatch, which is this massive stone structure that kind of winds its way skyward. Like a great lighthouse, only Raider. You have come out here to get away from the cantankerous party and have a moment with Leah, I understand. Lorelei, I understand it.
Yeah, she leans on the fence. Lorelei sits on top of it. She just takes in the air.
Now, is seeming still active?
Yeah, I think.
You tell me.
I think it lasts for like 8 hours.
Yeah, but you can turn it off whenever you want, I think. Can't you?
So, you
Yeah,
know, Lorelei sitting on top of the fence, her tiny legs dangling down. Now and then you can hear the clink of her sheathed sword against the metal of the fence, even though you can't see it. And finally, after, you know, allowing you to be silent and pensive for maybe half a minute, she says, "So, can I take this off now?"
I can't dispel it without dispelling all of us.
She blinks at you as though she doesn't see the problem.
Were there anyone else in the room with the party, like with our party? Was it just our party?
It was pretty much just you guys. Now and then, like, somebody who was clearly a servant of the house would come in to replenish some bit of food or clean a spilled drink. But it was pretty much just you.
She's gonna sigh and dispel seeming.
Your lovely dress disappears, and as does Lorelei's, and she kind of looks down and like presses her hands against herself, making sure there's no more illusions there. Says, "Thank you."
It's been a long week.
She kind of like looks around a little awkwardly and says, "Yes, I'm sorry I wasn't there for it with you."
I apologize, that I'm just very tired. I couldn't deal with the lucracy inside there, all the noises and drinks.
She kind of looks vaguely toward the wall to the left. Says, "That seems like how they always act to me."
It is. It's just I think I just needed some me time. Haven't had that since before we went in the Underdark.
She like kind of flutters down off the fence onto. I imagine you've got your hand resting next to you as you sit there. Or are you just leaned, still standing?
Yeah, still standing, just leaning on the fence.
Oh, in that case, then she'll just sort of, you know, sit forward a bit, you know, lean closer. Say, what about the time inside the magnificent mansion?
I guess I got some alone time there.
You spent a lot of time in the library reading things. And everyone else was away.
Look, I can't remember everything.
I mean, it was just the other day.
For you it was, for me it was over a week.
Right. So, how was your trip?
Chaotic. Armada's family is a lot.
The quiet one?
Yeah, if you'd met his family, he would be even more quiet in comparison.
I suppose that makes some bit of sense. If his
They-
family is loud, that he might end up quiet, which is why he's not with them.
It's very much the odd one out.
Were they nice?
Well, I like this mother, though I don't think she likes me that much.
Kind of. You see her kind of like tipping her head back and forth. Okay, says, why not?
I mentioned what we did with the drow, and she didn't take kindly to it.
She nods. I'm not an elf, but I understand the animosity they have for one another. I have seen their fights.
I'm sure it's going to take a lot to bury hatches after such a long time of disputes. It's not really something I can relate to, but...
But it is why you became the voice of change, isn't it?
It is.
So, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
So what? You still think it's a worthy cause, don't you?
I'm just worried that we might not have the time.
Well, stop the dragons from ruining the world. Then you'll have plenty of time, right?
As long as it succeeds.
Look. Zin believes in you. And I believe in Zin. And I've seen you fight. And I've heard your convictions, and they mean less to me than they do to Zin, but again, I believe in Zin, so I'm sure you'll succeed.
I started to question whether or not fighting them is even the right answer.
Fighting whom? The drow?
The dragons.
Oh. What's the right answer?
I've been looking a little into it, and it seems like... Well, we spoke with one of the... We actually hitched the ride. But he didn't know that you were there, I think. With, you know, the red dragon?
Yes.
Yeah. I got a feeling that maybe the children of Tiamat might fear their mother as much, if not more, than the rest of the world. Maybe they don't want to bring her back. If their deaths will summon her, it's even more reason. It might sound stupid, but I have a feeling that maybe we could try to reason with them.
With the dragons? Reason? Maybe.
We reasoned with the drow, and people said that was impossible.
So, you don't want to destroy the dragons, and you think you can still protect the world?
If it's possible to do both. If not, then we have no other choice than to defeat them.
You notice that Lorelei is smiling at you.
What?
You sound like Zin.
Maybe it's rubbing off on me. Better than the last one.
Maybe. Either way, I think this is a good thing. I like following Zin. I think that he has good intentions.
Did you know that Tatsuya, apparently he's like the one that sent him on this crazy mission to release the dragons in the first place was Oh, sorry, I swallowed the name.
Bahamut.
Bahamut. We tried to verify that with a spell, and it seems true.
And if it is true, what's the problem?
Well, I thought Bahamut was one of the good ones, but how can he be if he's going in to destroy so many lives just for petty vengeance?
Kind of narrows her eyes a little and says, well, he's trying to destroy one of the greatest evils in the world. With that gone, there would be so much less suffering. He would be, in fact, doing a great deal of good, don't you think?
What costs?
Perhaps
Millions
the
of
cost is
lives.
justified.
Tiamat has been gone for so long. Bringing her, like, purposefully bringing her back just to defeat her again? To me, it seems like it's a personal vendetta, not to bring goodness to the world.
I don't know much about it. I've spent all my life in the Feywild, and I mostly just have to worry about my Archfey. Which I didn't have one until recently. And now I do.
Well,
So-
you're welcome.
Thank you. I guess that was your fault, wasn't it?
If anything, it was because of Zephyr, though not necessarily but what he wanted.
Well, I'm not about to thank him.
Nah, better not.
In any event, Xantharma wants to find a way to stop Zephyr. This good dragon wants to stop the bad dragon. I don't know. It sounds kind of similar to me. As a warrior, we know that there are going to be costs to any war. Whatever it is we're trying to accomplish with that war, it's going to cost something. That's why I like Xantharmil, because he's always tried to reduce that cost. Not have the war. Protect lives, even evil ones. Hopefully.
The difference here is Xantharmil didn't start this war. That was started by Zephyr. The war between Bahamut and Tiamat, that is started at least this time around by Bahamut. He's starting the war just to finish it. It seems so necessary.
She sighs and shrugs and says, I really can't weigh in on the gods. They're generally your problem and not mine. But
Gods have been nothing but trouble for me.
there's no god out there that you find useful, helpful, kind.
Not that has proven it.
Well, I don't think that it's necessary to worship any gods you don't believe in, and if you believe in the cause of, and so if none of them suit you, why worship any?
I believe in sin, but he's not really a god either.
Well, he's as close as we need him to be, isn't he?
I guess. Just hope my second patron doesn't seek the same as my first. Because everyone wants nothing more than be a god.
Do you think Sin is likely to do that?
No. He tested me to make sure that if such happens, that I would know to leave him behind.
Do you think Zephyr would have done that?
No, never.
And maybe you're worrying about something that doesn't need worry.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know, they're drinking in there.
Yeah,
I would like to
Seems-
be drinking in there.
if you want to, you can just fly in and get some drinks.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I'll stay out there a little longer, taking the quiets.
It's very not quiet out here. Like, there's a lot of people milling about, talking and eating and celebrating. Like, out here, you're caged, you're fenced in, you know, separated from them by the fencing. But there is a big crowd out there. You're kind of like watching a parade kind of thing. Like, I don't know how to say this. It's a big citywide party kind of right now.
Gotcha. More like in the air then.
But it is a nice evening, otherwise. Alright.
Is there a place close by that that is less city? Are there like any parts of the city that's like a forest or?
No.
Is it-
You have seen this place from the outside, from that time that you got in during the siege. So you're aware that the city of Everwatch is on this island in the middle of a giant river. And the island is a very large, tall island surrounded by walls. It is all city on the inside. It's just
There's
like
also
tier street, you know, winding streets and tiers of buildings cascading down the island to its harbor.
Yeah, there's also the big spire that's on the hill, but
Yeah. You're up on top of the hill with the spire.
gotcha.
The spire is, you know, over here. I didn't build it. It's really big and complex. I was focusing on the mansion.
So do this hill kind of like have a cliffside towards the water?
Yeah, over beyond the spire. So if you headed over here, where the spire is, yeah, there's a cliff over there.
Okay, then the guy's gonna exit the fenced area, and she's just going to walk over there.
Okay. You
Fine.
make your way through the crowd. You know, there's a little pushy-shovey. There's a lot of food and drink going around. There's a lot of people, you know, happy. Most people don't even really take that much notice of you. And you make
Yeah,
your way over to the cliffs.
The urgent skills makes it very easy for Leah to just move through the crowds.
Yeah.
She'll find a rock or something on the cliff and just sit there and watch over the water.
It's a great view. Alright, I'm gonna skip back over here. I'll just double check with Jebel. Laramendas made his way out of the room, followed by Cyrus, actually also Yukikaze. Yukikaze, are you going to join this drinking celebration that's going on with Raiken, who is quickly becoming very intoxicated, and Tatsuya, who has been making his saves like a champ and is not becoming intoxicated?
No, my game that I'm doing is seeing which one I can make fall down first.
Oh, okay. Raiken, I'm going.
It was
to...
Laramendas.
It was Laramendas. You won that game.
So, well, actually, my goal is to kind of make it fall down together. So, like, if I see one getting ahead of the other, I'll give the other one more, and vice versa, or give the other one the more potent drink.
Okay, so you're not actually trying to make one fall down before the other. You're trying to keep things balanced and make them fall down at the same time.
I changed my mind. That's gonna be my goal.
Okay.
That's my challenge.
You have challenged yourself to this balancing act of how do I make it so that they're both done. So you notice that Tatsuya is winning here in the not being drunk game, but they are still neck and neck for number of drinks.
We got well. So my question is, do I know around me? Is there anything that's more potent than the current one I'm giving them?
You look around, there are a few bottles and casks. you recognize something from out in the desert that you know is pretty strong. You don't know how it compares to other stuff because you've really never compared it to the other names that you see here, which weren't available where you're from, but you know that this stuff you find pretty strong.
Alright, so I'm going to give Tatia's a little extra kick, mix a couple together.
And offer him the thing, and tell him it's something exotic.
Let me intercept a little bit.
I'll just tell him it's a real man's drink.
Alright, Leah?
Because of the... through all of the, like, drinking and partying in there, I wonder, do you any of you even notice when your clothes suddenly change? Because it's not like a poof or anything, it just changed as if I blink of an eye.
It's true. Raiken, what's your passive perception -5? Is it 4?
Passive perception -5 is actually 6.
Oh, okay. Better than 4. No, you don't notice that your clothing changes.
Mine's 4.
You're not inebriated as far as I know.
Indeed.
Also, you're looking at Laramendus, who you could see change. Laramendus notices because he finds a wine stain on his shirt that he missed with precipitation.
I just shrug.
Now it'll never come off.
Keep supplying alcohol.
Jebel.
Yep.
As I said, Cyrus and Laramendus did leave the room a little earlier. This is still going on. The Dragonborn are very clearly interested in their cups. Yukikaze, you can tell, is trying to make things worse. What would you like to be doing?
Jebel stepped out before us.
Yeah, I said I went off to explore the
You
place.
had. Okay, sorry. Bippa-dippa-doop. Sometimes I forget that you don't have control.
Doop.
So you head out. I apologize for that. That's on me. So yes, you head out. You're followed, after a minute or two after you come out here and start looking around at things. Laramendus and Cyrus will pop out of the room. But out in this area here, you notice that there is a great deal of artwork and tapestry and just things to let you know whoever is here, whoever lives here has a ton of money just all over the walls. Like, you walk out and you feel like this is the opposite of everything you put value on in your life. That there is a gathering of just artwork and other pieces that whose only purpose seems to be to exude the idea of wealth. You even notice that there appears to be a gold ring set into one of the walls that reminds you of the ones that would generate the magical light at the Arcane University. It looks to be of the same make. There is another door over here that is closed, and there is a staircase that leads upstairs, but on this first floor there isn't much else to see. You do notice that as you're milling about here, you're being dodged by people who appear to be servants of the house, going up and down the stairs, bringing supplies and towels and things like that. But beyond that, it seems that all the food must be stored down here.
The room opposite where I came out. Did
Yeah.
I see anyone come out of there?
This closed door? No, you haven't seen anybody using it.
I'm going to open that door and just peek inside.
Alrighty. It just seems to be another sitting room, though this time without the smell of food and alcohol. You see that there are a couple, work table type things, a couple rolled scrolls, inkwells and papers disheveled about their surfaces. But otherwise, it's a pretty austere room, especially when compared with the two rooms you've seen thus far.
Are any of the scrolls, are all the scrolls rolled up, or are there anything open?
There is definitely open stuff on the table that you could, climb up onto a chair to read.
Yeah, a quick glance. Anything that interesting?
It all seems to be, like, legal documents, financing, trade agreements, stuff like that. All of it, having this, intricate seal, which you, recognize as very similar, to the one on the ring that Vendar, used to wear.
I'm gonna head upstairs. See what's
Oh.
upstairs.
Okay. Nobody seems to bar you, but you do get looks from the servants around as you do this. They... Please stop going away. Not gonna go
He
hunting
likes
for
to feel tall.
Just gonna pull him back. Fine. The second floor, as you come out of the staircase, is a long hallway with a bunch of closed doors. There we go. A long hallway with a bunch of closed doors, and you can hear very muffled voices coming from behind the doors. It seems as though both the walls and the doors are rather thick here, which is exactly unlike the wagon that the Mendises had.
Hmm.
As you come off the stairs, you do immediately recognize Vendar's voice coming from one of the doors, but, you know, all these doors are kind of nearby to one another. You believe it's this one, though. You can't make out what he's saying, you just recognize his tones. Moving down the hallway at the second door, you do hear kind of a shrill voice. I'm sorry, not this door. I lied. This door. You will hear kind of a shrill voice, though you still can't make out any of the words. Seems to be, you know, bursting out in bouts of yelling and listening closely, which I get the feeling you are, but forgive me if I'm assuming incorrectly.
No, if I hear someone yelling, I'm going to be paying attention.
Okay. Listening more closely, in between the bouts, you are going to be noticing a much lower, much deeper, much harder to hear voice there, so you know there's at least two people in the room. But again, due to the thickness of the wood that this place seems to have been built for privacy, you cannot make out what exactly is being said. And this, even the shrill voice doesn't carry down the hallway. You only really became aware of it as you got close to this room. You know,
Sure.
around here. Other than that, some windows, some artwork. Down at this end, you find another work table and a door, which is next to a window, so you can tell that it leads outside.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Outside, walk around.
Sure. That takes you out to a balcony, which you can see wraps around the front of the house and overlooks the brilliant plaza. As you open the door, you know, you are immediately hit with the fresh, gusty air, and you can see to the west, looking down the river. You can see below you the land, the city slopes down away from you toward the water surface, and you can see the spikes of the wharf, the docks, bristling along the western edge of the island as boats seem to be coming and going. You are, you know, immediately struck by the sounds of the crowd, which this thick wood of the building and the thick brick of the lower portion of the building seem to be keeping out. as there is this celebration going on throughout the city. You can see even down the tiers, toward the water, that the streets are filled with people, all in small clusters gathering, dressed in colorful clothing, speaking loudly to one another, animatedly, seemingly, happy, joyous, celebratory. There's clearly food and drink going on in the streets. That is what you see. And that is what you find on the first 2 floors of this mansion. Oh,
Those windows slightly too high for me.
Probably, yeah. You're 3 feet tall. They're like you'd have to grab the sill and pull yourself up, or use your spell that makes you taller. There doesn't seem to be anybody around who would stop you from casting.
I am going to do that. I'm also going to summon my familiar.
Oh, okay. The raven appears and caws at you. Do you do it on the balcony or within the walls?
On the balcony.
Okay. Cool. So, Skith appears on the railing next to you and, looks over at you. I imagine you're taller, so he's not looking down.
And I am just going to tell him this. I just hop up onto the roof and just keep a lookout. Things have been pleasant, and I'm a little bit with this thought, I'm a bit wary of that.
The other shoe is going to drop.
It seems to have done that in the past, so best to be prepared.
He caws loudly and flaps his way up onto the roof. Alright, so I want to quickly skip over to...
And I'm doing like a lap, I'm going around this walkway.
Oh yeah, there's, like I said, lots of people to watch from up there. They seem... only a couple of them seem to notice you, and some of them out of, oh, there's somebody in the rich mansion up on the balcony, and they, raise glasses at you or wave. Some people talking to each other just sort of point, and there's the novelty of somebody, watching them, basically, from the mansion. Other than that, not much excitement there.
Okay.
Okay. Lair, you have gotten the bags. One of them is very much heavy, and you probably want to share the burden with Cyrus, I guess. And the other one is a bag of holding. What are you doing with it?
The 2 of us each holding one strap of it.
Yep. You know what? I got room in this thing. I just open up my bag of holding and stick his regular bag in it.
I'm going to find a servant and be like, I'm looking for a room that I can be putting my things down in and be away from the loudness of my companions. I gesture at the room that they're all in.
Sure. A young man dressed as a servant, human, looks at you for a moment before saying, of course, the lady has set aside any of the rooms upstairs, 3rd floor. I can take you to them.
Thank you. I follow him.
Yes, you follow him. You are led through the 2nd floor, down a hallway. You also are able to hear very, very, very muffled voices through some of the doors as you pass by, though I'm kind of imagining that Laramendus is not a snoop and is not trying to hear what's going on beyond them, is just walking.
Oh yeah, he's just walking, trying to get where he needs to go, do what he wants to do.
Alright, so I teleported you up to the 3rd floor at the top of the staircase. So when you get up here, sorry I left these open because I was trying to make sure that I had done everything. But there is a corridor with many, many doors leading off of it. And the servant kind of looks at you a little apologetically and says, all of these rooms are kept prepared for guests, but each room is for only a single person. There are the servants' quarters where there are many beds together, if that is what you prefer.
I think one of these rooms is perfectly all right. Thank you very much. And then
He looks more sad when you say that. This is, of course.
out of character, I don't know how many people I would be inconveniencing.
It seems like by you choosing not to use the servants' quarters, he has lost out on something, but you don't know what.
Since I would have been following Sam, may I ask a question?
Yeah, you're there with him.
Would you by chance get to use the nicer rooms if we were in the servants' quarters?
He looks back up at you, blinking, looks down at you, blinking. Says, well, that wasn't to be public knowledge.
Come on, let's use those. Let them have some luxury.
If there's enough of the rooms here for them, then I don't see any reason why the rest of them need to know that these are the rooms set aside for us. It gives us more space to do what we need to do.
He seems much happier.
We will say that we requested more space.
Of course, Lady Drakner doesn't retain so many servants as we could not remove ourselves from you. Please, this way. And he leads you to this end of the hallway, opening the door, where you find many beds, all of them well made and kept. Clearly no expense has been spared to make sure that even the servants' quarters are kept tidy in case of whatever. You know that all of that expense is at the expense of the servants.
Out of character, I probably don't have enough bags on me to split the residuum 5 ways, or do I? Would I?
Like pouch-like bags that you could put powder in?
Yeah.
I mean, anything you feel you need can probably be obtained in a city, so...
Yeah, I mean, it was, do I think I have that, or am I going to ask Cyrus to go and deal with that as I cast Unseen and Servant to...
You probably have a couple...
split things up?
You probably have a couple pouches on you, just to keep some of your reagents separated, so that they're not intermingling when they
those are for my reagents.
But I can't think of a reason that you would just have, like, 5 leather pouches, you know, sized properly for this. Like, they're kind of like, I guess, coin pouches, but you'd kind of want them to draw better than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that you should probably obtain pouches for this.
Yeah, sounds good.
Would we need, and this is in character, it's a question to Lara Mendes. Out of character is probably a question to you. Would we need multiple other bags, or would, once it's split up, would it be small enough that just some vials would do?
I pull out the bag of residuum. How large is it?
There was a number for that. I think it was something like 200,000 gold pieces worth. Is that right? What about what you had left? 230 something.
Hold on, let me try to find the number.
Did it get saved, perhaps pinned somewhere?
Residuum amount. No, I have it written down.
Oh, good.
282,200 in gold.
So each 50,000 gold worth is a 1 pound pouch.
Mm-hmm.
So with 282, you've got almost 6 pounds of this stuff that would go out into 6 1 pound pouches.
So leather bags.
Yeah.
Yes, vials only hold about a half pound worth of fluid.
Yeah.
Well, the half pound, including the weight of the vial and stopper.
Yeah. Any chance you know where the shops are? Or if not, I'll just ask my way around.
I didn't spend a lot of time in this city. I mean, the Mages Guild would be a reasonable place to find something that's gonna seal well to hold reagents.
Yeah, see if I can just buy some component copies from them, probably. That should be nearby, right?
It's where we came from.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this makes sense.
So it's down in one of the lower districts, but it's not far, far.
Alright, I'll be back. If something goes wrong, I have this, he says, holding up his stone of sending.
Not to
All right.
interrupt, but how many bags are you buying?
I'm gonna buy, like, 6.
Okay.
I am going to cast Unseen Servant, which will be the easiest way to transfer the amounts evenly without a scale.
You want me to buy a scale on
I
out?
think I'm wrong.
Scale is going to in D&D scales are extremely expensive. Basically, we would want to go to a money changer and then with their pay them to split it up,
So
essentially.
basically pay to rent it.
Yeah, we would just be like, we have this bag of granules of
Stuff they've
gemstone,
never seen
and we'd like it split evenly by weight is basically what we need to do, and then we need to figure they'd charge us however much they want to for that, or I can just say split this evenly 6 ways, Unseen Servant, between these bags, and then the magic does it.
Do you have any extra coin on you? Doesn't hurt to have extra in case quantity raises the price.
I imagine that 5 pouches is not a strain on the resources of the Mages Guild in a major city.
Okay, now I realized that I was sitting here thinking about it and I went, wait, hold on. A whole pound for 50
Yeah,
that doesn't sound
we
right.
have half a pound. It was 500,000 was a
Yeah,
pound?
it's 500,000 was pound. I had to pull out my 4 ebook and check.
Yeah. So we have like half a pound of it.
Yeah,
and
you
we're
got a little
splitting
more
it
than,
between.
slightly more than half a pound. So yeah, never mind. Sorry. You actually probably have a pouch. I don't know how many pouches you want to split it out to, though.
I
So
wanted it
then
to be
vials might
split.
actually work since they hold like a half pound each of liquid, and this is like a dust, which is fairly close.
It could work. Is that what you want to do?
I mean, given the amounts of vial that we then seal in wax or something,
They're usually stoppered, but and the stopper, a cork that works to keep fluids in.
yeah. But I'm saying,
But it
can
could
I hold
shatter.
up a vial and cast with the vial, and then it will just decrease the amount of because we were doing that with the pouch, right?
You could experiment.
I'll pick up some of each.
Sounds good.
Besides, I'm sure Vendar can always use more vials.
That is not inaccurate. How much extra did you want?
An extra platinum or 2 if you have it.
Okay, I give you 2 platinum.
Cool. That gets me up to 6, which should be more than enough for some pouches and vials.
I should hope so. Since that's gonna cost you maybe a platinum.
I'll bring you the change.
You don't need to.
Thanks. All right, and so I'll start heading off towards the Mages Guild.
Okay. I guess then that takes care of all the groups except for Vendar.
Yeah.
Alright, Vendar.
All right.
As the party splits off into the room full of food, predictably, and you immediately begin hearing the Dragonborn getting louder. Your mother draws you away upstairs. You've been in the Boar Hunter Lodge a few times in your life. Think of it like a popular country club among the nobility. For a while during your youth, your father would come here to meet or host business deals and such. The place was always well stocked and well served, and there were some, luxurious rooms if you needed to stay a while in Everwatch on business. So you're not unfamiliar with this building. You are just unfamiliar with it as a residence. It was more of a general purpose, nobleman's mansion. If any of that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Your mother draws you up to this luxurious room, and closes the door. And she takes a moment, as she steps in, giving you some space, and she just looks you over for a few moments before saying, "How have you been eating?"
Surprisingly well for being on the road. We've found some pretty wonderful magic items that give us all the food we can desire.
She nods. We should be... I expect your sister to come visit, this evening. Once all of her, the duties she has for the festivities are done with. You should see her tonight.
I'm sure she has a lot to do. I am excited to see her, though.
I should warn you to temper your expectations of that. It hurt all of us to separate you from the family name, Vendar.
Yes. I'm sorry. It needed to be done.
She's been working very hard the last couple months to get the family back on track since we lost your father.
I'm sure she'll be great at it.
Taken her duties very seriously, as I told you. And as you saw, your brother Vicaris has recently come back into our lives, for which we're very grateful.
Yes, he seemed far more subdued than usual.
Yes, I have him working with the man you saw earlier, Dr. Neeland. He's trying some things that seem to be helping. I am aware that it was your father who encouraged these behaviors in him.
We were all tools, and that was his purpose. I hope he can live a better life now that Father is out of it.
I'm certain that Dr. Neeland can tell you more of the specifics about what's going on. I'm certain, too, that your brother would value a moment to speak with you. I know that it's been even longer since you've seen him than the rest of us.
Yes, years.
You've been traveling a lot with your group lately. I hear stories from many different places.
We've been up to a lot, trying to make a difference in the world.
I heard you spent a lot of time in Bromdor recently.
Yes, after the war started, we went there to try to broker an armistice.
It seems to have been successful.
At least for a time, though. Then there were some more issues, but we worked those out as well. Speaking of which, has there been any news on Thandros? I heard that he had been captured, and I was hoping the armistice would have freed him.
I was hoping you would have news of him. I was leading up to that. She, turns her face away somewhat, clearly pained that you don't have news.
Sorry, Mother.
All the information that I've been able to put my hands on indicates that that he was taken about a week before your father was killed.
As soon as I heard he was captured, we moved to make the armistice. If he hasn't been freed, something's wrong. I know the leader, and we're on friendly terms with the current leader of Bromdor. I'll make sure to talk to her and see if she knows anything. I will find him.
Please. I don't know that he's safe, but I need to know what's happened to Thandros. And she balls her fist against her lips, or saying, I've heard troubling stories that in the days after the armistice was brokered, the soldiers that were left here, not all of them made it back. They believe that some might have deserted. And things became chaotic in Bromdor shortly thereafter, as they started fighting wars in other places. So they can't account for everyone.
Put my hand on her shoulder. We'll make sure to find out what happened, and if he's alright, I will bring him home.
I've spoken to so many people, and none of them has any answers for me.
If there's anything I'm gonna do, and it's digging things up.
She places a hand on top of yours, and squeezing it like earlier, and looking into your eyes, you can see that hers are glassy, full of tears. Yes. It hurt all of us to exile you. But I think it hurt Lilith most of all. I hope that you two can make amends. I know how close you were as children.
I do as well. I'm very happy to have been able to be here at least. I promised I would be. And I was afraid I wouldn't be able to keep that promise, but here I am. I'll do anything I can to fix it.
Make sure you let her know that. Is there anything that I or this house can do for you and your friends? For the night, for however long you're here?
I'm sure just putting us up is plenty. Though I do have some things that I would like to talk to you about.
I've ordered the servants to make the rooms upstairs ready for them, so that should be fine. What would you like? What is it, dear?
As I'm sure you're aware, we have been through a lot in our time. There's something I would like to share with our engineers in hopes that they can replicate it. During our travels, we found an ancient gnomish city in the desert. And they had some wonderful contraptions. And since, as I'm sure you've heard, the dragons have been awakened and are the threat that we are most trying to deal with. But we'll need all the help we can get to fight them when the time comes. And my hope is that our engineers can replicate this and mass produce it for our army.
I think that, that's something, for perhaps your sister, then, since she's, got more to do with, the armies and scientific undertakings of Espara than I do at this point. As you are aware, I, declined the positions that would normally be offered or granted to me by the passing of your father. And, I don't believe I have the strength for that undertaking.
Of course. I'll talk to Lilith about it.
I would save it for the end of whatever talks you have, just reading her dispositions lately.
That's a good idea.
You said you had other things? Maybe something I can help with? All of this fighting dragons and leading armies has never been my place as a noblewoman.
Yes. Add a character. What were the names of those kids that I sent to Lilith?
They were Jonas, and the girl was... Laren. Jonas and Laren.
Jonas and Laren, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but there were some kids that our party saved in Thanandir. And I was hoping to see them, Jonas and Laren, if you know anything about their whereabouts.
Yes. Yes, I do. Your sister had found them, work and caretakers, in the Tower of Everwatch. They're in, the child is very willful. Doesn't want to be beholden to anyone. I offered her a place here with me, when I was given the use of this house. wily child. She flatly refused to accept any handouts, and insisted that she continue working for her keep. You should be able to find her at the tower. Last I was aware, which was rather recently, she had moved from the wash basins to the kitchens. I believe they still had her on scullery duty, though.
Good to hear she's doing well. And her little brother.
Jonas, the child with one leg. Yes, Empress Belgrin was quick to offer him the services of the temple to repair the damage done by the beast that attacked him. But his sister wouldn't let him accept it.
I'll have a talk with them.
I'd be grateful if you would. I'm very worried about them. I wouldn't have made them work here, but they have some ideas, I think is the only way I can put it.
They've been through a lot.
I wonder what they went through before the beast attacked them.
I can only imagine.
So yes, look for them at the tower. I'm sure that any of Empress Belgrin's guard can point you to them. Assuming that you're welcome there, which will depend on your interactions with Lilith tonight, I think.
Yes. Well, hopefully they go well.
Just cut her some slack, Vendar. She has a lot of duties right now. A lot of people are counting on her.
Yes. More than I could ever comprehend, I'm sure. I was never much for the ruling aspects.
I think that I can relate a bit. I mostly had wanted to ask about your brother. But, if you're going downstairs, it would be pleasant if you might bring me back a drink of some kind. I think I shall remain here.
Of course, I'll go get a drink.
She nods and smiles. You know, returning your hand to you. She, is going to, move to the window and look out at the busy city below. But she's going to look back and smile at you. Say, I'm very glad that you came to visit, Vendar. I missed you.
I missed you too, Mother. I'm glad that I was able to see you.
I'm sorry that I wasn't, able to see you the last time you were in town.
I would have liked to see him. I can see you now, and that's good. I'll be right back.
As you head out into the hallway and toward the staircase, you will hear again the muffled noises, voices coming from down to the east. One that you recognize as the feral shriek of Vicaris, even without words or clarity to it through the wood of the walls.
Room?
Light. You are here. The door is here.
I'll knock on the door.
You do hear, between bursts of this, noise, that there is a deeper baritone voice within, and as the latest outburst, winds down, you do hear the voice growing closer to the door, saying, "I'm going to see who it is." And the door opens, enough for you to, see a man in white standing there. I don't know if I have a good token here. We'll go with this one. At least he's kind of, in the right color clothing a little bit. And, he opens the door and says, "Hold on, Vicaris, I'm checking on..." "Oh. Hello.
Hello, Doctor.
You're Vicaris' younger brother. Vendar, correct?
Yes.
Your mother
I
has
heard-
told me a bit about you."
Hopefully, not bad things.
He only smiles.
I heard Vicaris. I wanted to check up on him.
Yes. You can come in and speak with him. I think he kind of leans back and looks over, kind of nods and returns to you. Says, "He's going through an episode, but perhaps speaking with someone he cares about will be good for him. And if you don't mind, I would like to observe."
Of course.
He will step back into the room. Vicaris is seated on the edge of the bed. You can see he's kind of rocking back and forth, his hands gripping his knees as his legs bend over the edge of the bed. And you can see that his eyes are kind of darting around the room a bit, and they keep falling back on Dr. Neeland. As you round the corner, he says, "Who is it? Who is it?" "Oh." And you see him kind of settle back a little bit, his hands relaxing somewhat, as he pushes them off of his thighs and onto the counterpane beneath him. He says, "Vendar, I haven't seen you since the wedding. How are you?"
I'm alright. How are you?
And you see him kind of wincing to the side a little bit, like a tick, before he looks back and he says, "I'm doing well. Victor tells me that I'm doing very well." And from behind you, Dr. Neeland grunts. Says, "Yes, you've made a lot of progress since I started working with you, Vicaris. It's very encouraging."
That's good to hear. You seem to be having some troubles. I'm glad to hear it's going well. Is there anything I can do to help?
Help? Oh. No, I don't know how you might help, little brother. This is, It's all about medicines and, what did you call them? Stimuli. Victor calls them stimuli. Dr. Neeland, you hear the shuffling of the sliding of fabric as he folds his arms behind you. He says, I've been trying to figure out exactly what it was that your father was giving to Vicaris. Unfortunately, since his unfortunate accident, we haven't been able to uncover any samples of the substance that he was using. But I've been trying a few remedies of my own, and they are having some positive effect on Vicaris' moods. You feel more in control lately, don't you, Vicaris? And Vicaris kind of leans to one side and back again, his hands sliding back up onto his knees as you see him swallow hard, and he says, yes. Very, very frequently in control, Doctor. You remember Father, don't you, Vendar?
All too well.
He's gone now. Gone.
Yes.
Never to be seen again.
We're all better for it.
Better. Better. Maybe better. Dr. Victor hasn't been able to provide me anything like Father's juice. That's helped me. That helped me a lot. Now it's gone. And don't know what to do.
I'm sorry. I wasn't aware of what Father had done to you.
For me? Yes, he was helping a lot. But that's okay. I've got Victor now, and now he is helping me. What can I do for you today, brother? Brother. Vendar. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
Yes, before the wedding. I haven't seen you in years.
They slip away, don't they? You went on a trip. You went somewhere. Somewhere far. Was it
Yes,
nice?
I've been many places, some of them much nicer than others.
I hope they were mostly nice. Good accommodations. Mother says anywhere is comfortable as long as you've got a clean bed.
Certainly not the accommodations I was used to when growing up. But I've become accustomed.
I see. Yes. Well, at least it was a good trip. How aren't you enjoying the party tonight? You can see that his motions have become more forceful over the last couple seconds as he's got more of a twitch to him, seeming to lose control of the volume of his voice here and there.
Yes, it's been wonderful to be home and see everyone that I haven't seen in so long.
Everyone.
I've missed you.
Oh, everyone misses everyone. Yes, it's true. I'm glad you're here, brother. I missed knowing you were alive. Father said that you had important jobs to do. You were always away. I had important jobs once. Now I don't have a job at all. But I'm told that's better.
Yes. Now you can choose what you do with your life.
Choose. Yes, I will choose. I can choose. I choose this room for now, with Victor. Have you met Victor?
Yes.
He extends a hand. You can see that he's rock hard, gripping his knee with the other. He says, Victor, meet Vendar. He's my younger brother. The doctor nods and steps forward, extending a hand. You can tell by the expression on his face that he's doing this for Vikar's benefit. It's a pleasure to meet you, Vendar. I've heard a great deal about you from Vikar's.
Likewise. He speaks highly of you.
He's a good man. I believe you are too. It's good to be in your company. However, I think that it's getting a bit late for Vikar's, and I think we should probably begin to prepare for bed, don't you? Vikar's starts kind of pounding his knees with his fist. He says, Yes! Yes! It is time to sleep. I am tired. I must sleep now. I'm very tired. Vendar, leave me, please. I must go to sleep.
Of course. It was wonderful to see you, brother. Sleep well.
And he stands up quickly and heads over to the... Stop being bad. To the corner where he begins to disrobe. Says, Please see him out, Doctor. I will see you on the morrow, Vendar.
Of course.
Sleep.
I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
And Victor escorts you to the door. Says, I need a breakthrough with this.
What is this juice that he talked about?
As near as I can tell, your father had some concoction that he used to give Vikar's that would alter his mood. I don't know if it's for better or worse, but Vikar's seems to think that it helped him. I've been trying my own chemical remedies with the alchemy that I have been trained in, and there has been some improvement, but he still has... And he lowers his voice as he grips the door, partially closing, and says, His mood swings are still wild and unpredictable, and he does not do well in crowds when he gets overloaded with stimuli. He has had bad outbursts.
I had no idea.
He frowns at you a moment and says, I've only been treating Vikar's the last 2 weeks or so. He was out wandering the battlefields before that.
Father was no alchemist. Someone must have been creating this formula for him. I'll look into it. Hopefully I can find something that will help.
He nods and says, Well, I certainly didn't expect to be receiving help from you, Vendar, but it is certainly welcome. I will do what I can for your brother.
Thank you. You seem to be helping him a lot. I hope that I can too.
He gives you a somewhat sideways smile and says, Good night.
Good night. See you tomorrow. Drink from my mom.
Yes. You return downstairs, and it's just the Dragonborn in here. 2 out of 3 getting completely sloshed. Raiken is barely standing. I think the only thing keeping him up is the wall behind him. Tatsuya is seated on the bar, and that seems to be where he wants to stay. There is a lot of liquid spilled about them, and you can see that it has been mopped at the edges by servants coming and going, who don't want to get too close to the rowdy Dragonborn.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Tsukikiba, Yukikaze, have you been participating in the drinking at all, or are you just encouraging it?
Oh, I've been drinking, but I'm pacing myself. I'm not like chugging them down.
All right, well,
Like they
Kind
let
of like enjoyably sipping and watching the shenanigans.
well, give me two con saving throws anyway, at 8 and 12. To represent the time that's gone by.
So the first one I got a 9. The second one I got a 23.
Okay. You pass both of them, so you're sipping away and you're not feeling it at this point.
Yo, you almost failed the first one.
Hilarious. Raiken, I mean, you were already, like, on the way down. I don't know. Do I need to have you make any more saves, or are you just going to be, on the floor here?
Let's make one more roll to see if he has, he's reached his point of no return.
Okay. 22.
Ooh. Gonna be a tough one. Huzzah! Yep, he's gone. He got a 14.
Yep, he's gone. And as you
Except Raiken's the other one.
Huh?
Raiken's the other one.
Oh, you're right. That's okay. Tatsuya also massively failed just now, so you're both on the floor. You both win.
Does that mean Yukikaze won?
As a matter of
I think
fact.
it does.
So as you get over here, and they're still egging each other on, slurring as they say, I've drunk more than you. You get up to the bar, trying to, like...
They're gonna drink from the floor, too.
You're trying to figure out, like, how to reach past these Dragonborn to get at the drink you want to bring to your mother, and suddenly they, like... Tatsuya, like, raises a glass, thrusts it into the air, like, and to the next one, and Raiken reaches out, suddenly to try and clink glasses, and both of them lose their balance and, like, headbutt each other and fall onto the ground.
And then Yukikaze goes, huzzah!
Well, it looks like they had fun.
I think they
I'll
might
just
be
go ahead
unconscious.
I'll just go ahead and sneak past them and grab this.
Vendar, you're finally joining us?
Only for a moment. I've come to grab a drink for my mother.
Come on, we're like 16 drinks ahead of you.
You're not slurred enough.
I'm pretty
Slur
sure that
more.
was 6-0.
60.
Yeah, you got. I think it's a little too late to try to catch up at this point. Maybe tomorrow.
Coward!
Oh, there's some leftover drink on the floor here. Hold on.
Yeah, that's about right. I'll grab my mother's favorite drink and
Sneak back out.
See you guys tomorrow.
As you approach the door, you catch a glimpse of one of the house servants gripping the edge of it and peering in, and he looks up at you, clearly afraid as you approach the door. And he goes, Are they dead?
No, just really, really drunk.
Why aren't they dead?
Oh, they're dragonborn.
He looks at you as though you expect him to find meaning in that statement, and it baffles him.
And I'll walk away.
Okay. Cyrus.
Yep.
You went in search of vials.
Vials and bags.
Vials and bags. Alright. As you make your way through the city streets, it is quite partious out here. And, you know, your small size and underfoot racial feature come in handy as you're trying to make your way down to the lower tiers of the city. Not like the low tiers, but like lower than you're at the top, and you gotta go down lower.
Yep.
Just so I'm understood. Lots of people eating, drinking, making merry, you know, celebrating the fact that there's been this wedding and this, you know, soon to be this new coronation. They seem like they're this is a coronation party. That is how they're treating it. You do find that many shops are open and, you know, happily vending food and drink and other things to people who are not in a position to be making monetary decisions. But you do make your way back to the Mages Guild, which is very blessedly quiet. They seem not to be participating in any of this here as you enter. I believe that was to be your first stop, yes?
Yes, that was going to be my first stop.
Alright. Then as you enter, you will you enter, and you recognize, you know, the first floor of this building that you saw briefly after your arrival via teleportation. And looking around, there is an elven woman seated, you know, on a cushioned chair, and going over. She seems to have several scrolls in front of her, and an open, large tome, and she seems to be making notes on the scrolls with a fine-tipped quill. But you don't see anybody else around. It's quiet and dim in here. She has a couple of lights about her. You know, a candle, and also there appears to be, you know, brilliant light coming from what looks to be a nail in the wall nearby her.
Okay. Does she appear to be, like, actively writing, or like, kind of in a...
She does appear to be actively writing. She is dressed in the guild robe, so you know she's one of the guild mages.
If she's actively writing, I'll, like, wait till she, you know, finishes the page for me, like, where there's some point where her pin's no longer touching the page, before I address her. I want to make sure I don't, like,
You see her lift the quill several times while you stand there, and you take a breath, you know, so that you can, you know, say, excuse me, and she immediately, like, puts the quill down and begins writing again. This happens several times. You end up waiting maybe six or 7 minutes before she finally, like, actually sighs and sets the quill aside, picks up the scroll, and begins lightly blowing on the ink.
Excuse me. Do you have a moment?
You say this, and she gasps and goes, "Oh my!" Well, hello there. I wasn't expecting anyone today. Oh, gave me a startle. How can I help you?
I am in need of some component pouches, and I was hoping the Mages Guild has some extras that I could purchase or could direct me where I might find some that would be useful.
She looks you up and down a moment. Says, well, yes, we can sell you some component pouches. She seems to still be like, kind of like getting a handle on everything for a moment. Says, yes, I can sell you, some leather pouches. Our small pouches, will run, 8 gold pieces each.
One second while I do some math in my head. This would be 40. Okay. Excellent. I will need 5 if you have that many on hand.
Uh-huh. I see. Not used to, people coming in and being so willing to pay our prices. Very well then.
Well,
yeah.
when you're experimenting with new components and don't want them to mix, it's best not to take chances.
Ah. You, have some reagents that you're not sure the stability of?
A little bit, and also just need some to separate some for organizational purposes.
And, are these components, liquid, solid, sticks,
it's a
mushrooms? Dust. Very fine?
I assume so.
Heavy?
Not particularly heavy.
And you don't want it getting wet?
That would be ideal, yes.
Alright, those will be 11 gold pieces each. The waterproof ones. I wouldn't want you blowing your face off.
Indeed. I've done that once already. It's not a fun experience.
She just looks very worriedly at you. Almost as though she thinks you're going to explode now in front of her.
Sorry, that was a joke.
She does not seem consoled by that.
Anyways, he'll like pull out. It was 11 per bag, so he'll pull out all 6 platinum.
Okay.
And say, "Do you have change for the last one?"
She looks at your platinum, seeming a little surprised. And says, "Of course." She pulls out. She stands up and moves over behind this counter, which was facing the door. She was off in an alcove to the right as you entered. And she pulls forward a coffer, lifting the lid of the wooden box, and you can hear coins clinking inside. And she comes back and holds out 5 gold pieces on one hand and an empty hand.
Yep, I'll place the 6 platinum in her empty hand and then reach for the gold.
He lets you take it. Says, "Is there anything else I can get for you today?"
I believe that'll be all. Sorry to have disturbed you.
I forgive you. The guild is always here to serve any customer, no matter their magical need. Please come again and request our services.
Should I find the need? I think I will. And do I have the pouches by this point, or?
You... Oh. Yes, sorry, she took your money. There's like an awkward moment as she's like waiting for you to leave, and then she goes, "Oh, right." And she quickly places your platinum into the coffer, closes the lid, pushes it back, standing there an extra second, and then moves over behind a curtain, and you can hear like rummaging as objects are slid and moved about. Where did I? Oh, here they are. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Oh dear. Somewhere around here. And you can hear her, like, whispering to herself as she's looking for something. And finally she goes, "Aha! There you are!" And you hear, like, fabric, objects sliding against each other quickly. And then she, like, gasps and steps back through the curtain as you hear a crash as something falls. She's sort of like standing back away from the curtain with her hands raised with a bunch of bags in one hand and a single bag in the other, sort of looking surprisedly toward the curtain, where she turns, clasping her hands together and says, "I have your bags right here, sir."
Thank you. Do you know mending, or would you like a hand?
"Oh, I've got everything under control. Thank you very much for the offer. Have yourself a lovely day."
You too. And with that, he'll turn to leave.
You take your pouches and head back to the lodge.
I would have considered doing some extra shopping, but that took most of my money. Well, how much does my character think a nice outfit would cost?
A nice outfit? That'll run you anywhere. You've been to a place that was selling nice outfits. You remember the Radiant
broken
Raiment.
in too.
And so you know that they can run you anywhere from like 5 gold pieces to 100 gold pieces.
Alright, then I'll have to come back with more money. So I'll just head up to the manor then.
Okay. You head back to the lodge with your spoils. I'm gonna jump back to Leah here. Give her a chance. Leah, you had worked your way through the crowd. As you were moving about the grounds of the tower, guards, armored and with spears in hand, would have approached you. But as you know, you had been contracted by Empress Belgrin several months ago. And so, if you wish, you can simply tell them that relationship.
I would.
Okay. They kind of frown, and one stays with you, allowing you to continue on while the other goes to just check on this. And, after several minutes, he would come back, report to the other, and both of them would finally, let you be. But they would not have stopped you, per se. Like, they would have just escorted you until this confirmation came in. So you're able to move past the tower itself and get to the cliffs. And there are these large, rocky boulders at the top, and then it comes up to a sheer cliff that kind of steps out much further down. It's maybe a couple 100 feet at least to the river below. As you see, the river is flowing at you from east to west. The sound of gulls, high pitch in the air. But out here, this far away from the crowds, they're little more than a dull roar in the back of your mind, as the wind whips your hair, standing at the edge of this cliff, looking out over the water. Lorelei has gone to drink and has not returned at this point. What would you do?
Well, it's the sun is setting, right?
Yeah.
So she's just gonna sit there and just take in the sea air, contemplate. There's a lot on her mind right now.
Indeed. Is she going to just stay until she feels sated, or stay until, like, night falls?
She's gonna stay until the sun is fully set.
Okay.
Then she's gonna find her way back and head towards one of the room she believes she's supposed to stay in.
Okay.
Probably ask a servant if she can figure it out.
So, evening wears on, sun sets. The Dragonborn are out.
The two Dragonborn
Two
are
of
out.
the Dragonborn are out. Yuki, now that you have won, what will you do?
I'm gonna go find Laramentis and politely ask him if he could use his magics to drag their drunk butts up into bed.
Okay.
Finest use of Tensor's floating disc.
Oh wait, that's right. You can actually control
Transporting
yourself.
Unconscious
Would
party
you
members.
Would you like to make your way to the third floor? It's easy for you to ask servants where the elf went.
I will.
Okay. You want me to move your character, or are you going to move it?
I lost connection. Wait, and got cut out for a second there. Hold on.
Oh. Yeah, I've been having difficulty with stream lately of being informed that it's like dropping frames left and right.
You're gonna have to pull me back.
Oh, okay.
Ew.
Okay. Let's see if I can navigate this.
There's leftover drink on the floor.
Stairs. I could actually walk, Mike. Maybe.
And remember that if the lock is green, then you can walk off the top up above where you can see yourself. Hang right. Hey, look, there's Vendar. And then another right. And then a third right.
Oh, wait. I think I went onto the stairs. Where are we going here? Oh, they're there. I see it.
I like
Okay,
the spotlight.
the roof just came down on my head.
Oh my goodness.
No, I jumped off the floor. I think I'm visually seeing this a little bit because I'm a little tipsy.
Yeah. Oh, is that what's happening?
Yeah, I'm just a
You
little
drank
tipsy.
just enough for this to be a problem.
Yeah, it's not enough to be like a big problem. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm feeling a little because I'm going upstairs. Oh, not that way. Not that way. I'm back
I do kind of enjoy the problems that the program has sometimes, where, like, I put up these lovely banisters to keep characters from, falling down the stairs, and the banisters don't stop tokens from falling down the stairs.
Hellspire says, fuck OSHA compliance.
Shh, physics.
Not too far. I got it.
Follow the light. Oh.
Hey, Larry.
Laramentis looks up from the book that he is reading and says, yeah?
I'm sorry to bother you. But we have a very, very drunk Raiken and very drunk Katsuya on the floor in the dining area. Would you mind, using your fancy magics to bring them up to bed? I'm a little drunk too, but I'll help you get them on there. I'm not plastered, but
Okay.
feeling a little.
I can make a disc, and we can, or well, you can put them on it, and we can drag them up.
I very
Um,
much appreciate that.
Give me 10 minutes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go down, make sure they're not getting sick on the floor also.
I suppose I can claim that if they do. The staff doesn't deserve that.
Yeah, let's hope that's not the case. It doesn't get to the case. Alright, well, I'll meet you downstairs. And I'll mosey off.
So as you head back downstairs, the Cyrus shall be returning,
I'm going just to eliminate.
and Leah can be returning. And I
Where'd I
will
go?
quick stop in with Vendar here to get this stuff concluded. So Vendar, you get that drink back to your mother.
Here you are, Mother.
To accept the drink from you, and smile as she wafts it under her nose. Says, "You still remember my favorite drink?"
Of course. I always did love it.
I suppose it feels like it has been longer since you've been with us than it has. Feels like a lifetime has passed the last few weeks.
Yes, a lot has happened. I spoke to Vicarious.
How was he?
Didn't realize it was so bad for him. Didn't know what Father had done.
None of us is sure what your father did. He claims that your father was helping him with whatever it was he was given. But
I very much doubt that is the case.
as do I. Which is why it's probably just as well that we don't have any of it for the doctor to use as a basis for his treatments. Unfortunately, it does mean that Dr. Neeland has no solid starting place, so he's just, as I've asked him to, trying anything he believes might help.
Well, I'm sure whatever he was giving Vicarious was not helping him. Knowing what it is will no doubt make it easier to treat his withdrawal. I'm going to look into it. I know some things of alchemists that father might have used under Kyler's mentorship. I learned a lot about poisons and other alchemical substances.
A pained look enters your face as you say all that. I wish I had done more to you for me.
He had you under his thumb too. I don't blame you for what he did. But maybe some of Kyler's contacts will be able to point me in the right direction.
She seems suddenly to be struck by a thought. I thought your father's associate was dead.
Father told me to kill him, and I tried, but I doubt I was successful.
Well, I certainly...
I had thought he was dead, but there are signs that suggest that he was just pretending. He is, after all, the greatest assassin that's ever lived.
He's likely even more dangerous than your father.
Likely. Certainly on a personal level.
Certain that it's a good idea to seek him out?
Well, if it helps Vicaris, I'm willing to do anything.
She nods her agreement. You hear her breath catch somewhat in her throat. Okay. Be careful out there.
I'll always do my best. I would like to know how you've been.
Not well. It was... traumatic. Before Dr. Neeland was helping Vicaris, he was helping me. I knew he would be a good doctor, for your brother. It was very difficult after those men broke into our home and held us all prisoner at our own dinner table.
Earl Vince. I'm sorry. I should have been there. I shouldn't have let them go in and do that. I should have taken care of him myself without involving any of you.
Lilith told me that you hired those men, or chose to work with them.
The leader approached me, and I did agree to help them deal with Father. But once I heard that Thandros had been taken, I went after to try to stop the war instead. I let them do it alone. I should have been there. Couldn't even find Thandros.
I don't know if you'll be able to find Thandros. You should know that those men claim to be doing this in his name.
In Thandros' name.
She nods. They blamed your father for putting Thandros in the position he was in. They claimed that they'd lost their best friend and leader because of the machinations. Layden.
I hadn't realized those were Thandros' men.
You may not remember it, but your character did know this.
Oh, I did?
Yes, when you met with him in the bar, he told you that he had served under Thandros. and had seen Thandros taken after the battle, and knew from being led by Thandros the stories that he told of his family, that Thaden was a bad influence, and that he was only lucky that Thandros hadn't turned out like Vicaris or you.
Wow. You might know something. I'll see if I can track him down. Perhaps he'll give me a lead on Thandros.
Might track down his next of kin.
It's a good idea. They're probably in the city. Or nearby.
I am, of course, in favor of anything that will help my children, but I want you to avoid going into any unnecessary, dangerous situations.
I understand the sentiment, but it's kind of my job. I have a lot to make up for. If I have to put my life at stake to do it, then I'm willing. But I'm not alone. My friends are always there to back me up. They've never let me down. I'll be alright, Mom.
Just make sure you talk to your sister before.
Of course.
Dear. She finishes the drink that you've given her and sets the, glass and or bottle, however it was you delivered it, on the table there. Says, I suppose I'd best at least check on our guests and make sure that they're not creating too much difficulty for the servants.
It can be pretty rowdy.
She nods. Says, why don't we head downstairs together?
Of course. The wrong way.
Bye, son!
What's this about Buffalo?
Buffalo, another buffalo. It's tragic.
Alright, my bad.
Bye, Mom.
Be over here then.
I was thinking she might wait over there, but then I remembered I said she was going to come check on these guys. So, comes in here. Where'd Larmendus go?
Larmendus waits 10 minutes from when Yukaze got him and then goes down. I don't know when that would be.
Nowish.
Okay. So, Larmendus is going down.
Alright, and, did Cyrus come find you earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Leah? Leah's still having her cliff look, I guess.
Oh, I flew.
Yes.
Looking at the cliff.
I went upstairs, I guess.
You want me to just pull you down here?
Yeah, that might be easier. I tried to go down to the second stairs, and then it was just that I went up into the bed instead. I guess Larmendus is tired.
I love this program,
Going to
but moving tokens around it, very funny. Not always
What
work.
Larmendus didn't know is that not only did the drink get onto his clothes, it also got into his bloodstream.
There you go. It's that strong.
I had
Yep.
accidentally put Leah like in the ocean.
Whoops.
But she's there now.
I'm glad you found your way back from that.
walks back in, soaking wet.
Slams door behind her. So
Out on the bloody ocean.
she comes down here, finding only the 3 Dragonborn with you, Vendar, before turning to you and saying, I seem to remember there being more of your friends.
You gotta be around here somewhere.
And at that point, the others two will kind of all show up roughly together.
Yeah,
And just
the
walks
old-
in. Behind him, there is just a, it's 2 feet off the ground, I think. Like purple, a translucent purple disc.
Oh.
He's like, okay, let's just, Lady Tracker. If you could, turns to Yukikaze, if you could begin putting them onto the disc, then we can get them to not the floor.
Yeah, I'll work on getting them up there.
The disc can hold 500 pounds.
If you pick one of them who gets to be in the bed longer and put them in first.
I mean, Raiken is blessedly unarmored. But
True, he has not put his armor on yet.
how heavy is Raiken?
I'm not sure. Let's see. It looks like on his character sheet, he's 350 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see here.
Heavy boy.
He's a dragonborn. What do you
True.
expect?
Fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Like he can only get one per.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tatsuya's about the same weight, only he's also wearing armor. So he's about
He
400
can even-
pounds.
He can even carry Tatsuya.
Where does it say your weight?
Now, you can put that in, but the book gives
Oh.
you average weights for your race.
Well,
Okay.
on D&D Beyond, mine's listed under description and then characteristics.
Yeah, you can fill that. That was manually filled in. You selected to be 350 pounds. And I remember that because somebody decided to jump down on top of Leah, so we needed to know how heavy you were.
Yeah, that was Raiken.
Trust the shit out of her.
Someone who will remain nameless. Raiken Lumas.
What? Someone call my name?
And Lorelai is just gleefully watching this show from the fireplace, like sitting on top of the fireplace.
The Dragonborn just getting dragged around the floor and pulled up onto the Spencer's floating disc.
It's just the torso on it, arms and legs, on, touching
enough.
the ground
Yeah.
as it just floats behind me.
What a sight for Lady Draknir.
Yeah. She came down at the wrong moment. Ugh.
Any mess that they have created, I will magically clean.
She seems to be scrutinizing you for a moment. You can't tell if she's dismayed by your words, weighing your words, doesn't like your face. And finally she says, I think I want you to call me Lady Kalok.
Very well.
It was my name before I married.
Armendus nods.
And Thaden isn't my husband, isn't here. And I've given the family name to our daughter to lead. I think I'm going to take up my family name again. So, Lady Kalok, if you will.
I hope somebody tells that to Raiken. Wink, wink.
Raiken's unconscious.
Raiken's being told.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
It would be very awkward if he ends up talking to her later, like, "Hi, Lady Draknir."
Angry eyes. Why is she looking mean at me? What did I do?
Or did I pronounce your name wrong?
She looks around at the mess that has been left. Like, you're dragging the Dragonborn, and they're just leaking as you go. There's just, like, slug trails behind them.
I can cast Prestidigitation as I walk.
So, like,
Yeah,
I imagine, like,
there's-
Yukikaze is the one who's been forced to drag everyone around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't move that much weight.
Alex, what?
I mean, I
I
might
imagine
be able
because
to.
Tatsuya is in armor, every time like you give him a new position, more like alcohol leaks out of him.
What's the push
Sorry
pull
about my
weight
friends.
in,
They're unrefined. Despite being noblemen themselves.
That's right. Raiken is a nobleman.
Yep, he is noble.
So it's Tatsuya.
Tatsuya was a nobleman, too. Yeah, that scene happens as Lady Kalok is just sort of watching all of this happening around her, and sort of just, like, indicating with distress at the stuff that she wants you to take care of so that the servants don't have to. Just, like, not mostly wordlessly, just sort of, like, you know, eyes closed, nose turned up, and, like, hand, like, going toward it, just like that there, make that go away.
as soon as they are moved to not here, I will take care of it.
You begin towing these out of the room.
My push pull drag carrying capacity is not high enough to move them.
Yeah, but you don't need it to be, because...
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying, but like, if I needed to just do it myself, I
Yeah.
could not.
No. It's too bad. Drag's the highest
They're
number.
effectively boulders.
They're very heavy. They're very heavy. It's a good thing that that Yukikaze has a lot of strength.
Mm-hmm.
And that he didn't get blackout drunk too.
He partly caused it.
I didn't cause anything. I'm gonna come back
You
down
were
here
an
and
enabler.
I'm gonna come down here, and if the servants are cleaning up the table, I might get a last little plate and go outside and sit on a balcony or something, enjoy the night.
Yes, as you're, you know, getting these guys on the disc and, you know, like, starting to move out of the room, she's just going to, like, kind of recompose herself very quickly and say, I welcome you into my home for the celebration and the next couple days at least, as long as Vendar says you need the space. I only ask that you respect the people that keep this place tidy for me, and give them as little extra work as possible. I will, of course, forgive the indiscretions tonight, as it is a party. A celebration. Welcome to Boar Hunter Lodge.
Thank you for your hospitality.
She nods at you. Yeah. Are you still hiding out there,
and then
Leah?
drag them down, or can we just?
Oh, I can just teleport them up.
Yeah.
Whoops, too low.
Yeah, I imagine Leah will come in about the same time as you pass. Like, are you teleporting or are you passing through the door with the disc?
I mean, the characters are moving. In Tailspire, we're teleporting just because the stairs are treacherous.
Yeah. He has to make a trip up and a trip back down.
Yeah, Leah will come through the main door about the same time as you're going through with the disc. I'm like, oh, fuck. got that
Welcome
much.
back, Leah. I'd say that if I notice you like looking as if you have just come in the front door.
Sorry. I tried to adjust Vendar and he flew away.
It's fine. He's also very tired.
The beds are calling.
Oh, wait. Fuck. I'm so sorry. I have to hold you right there for just a moment. Jebel!
It's me.
I'm so sorry.
I half wondered what
I've
happened.
been out here all this time.
I've been
Fell
standing
asleep
up
on the
here
balcony.
for 30
For
minutes!
30 minutes.
You'll be able to hear from Skith, even with him up on the roof if you go back downstairs. The only thing he's told you so far is that he saw Leah heading off to the cliffs. And then later he'll tell you that she's coming back. I imagine you'll ask if she's gone to jump or something, and he says no.
Is she on her own?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it, really. That's. If there's nothing else interesting going on, I'm just keeping an eye out.
You got it, boss.
Dia will grab a hold of Vendar as he notices him.
You want to move in the room and go grab him?
Is he still in the room?
Yeah, Vendar is here.
I think Laramendus and Yukikaze are the ones that are moving about with the bodies. Because I can't get them off of the disc and onto the bed.
How much did I drink? And do I need to write a formal apology?
You drank?
No, not me. You know, them.
Oh, it'll be all right. We just need to make sure they don't make a fool of themselves again. You think they'd have some restraint?
No. They will make a fool of themselves. It's in their nature.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to make sure that doesn't happen. So keep an eye on them if you can.
So I didn't like Yuki's down here. So it was just yeah, that's good.
Yeah, he just enabled them. You're the responsible one in the relationship.
Figures. Well, if you mind showing me to our room, I think I'm gonna settle for the night.
You're a thump, 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 thump. His feet are hitting the stairs as he's going up.
Yeah, just follow the thumps. A servant can show you the way.
Gotcha.
I'll call the attention for one. Ask him to lead her to the room.
She's gonna give us like a small courtesy to Vendar's mother.
Vendar's mother.
My lady.
She's been watching the whole exchange, and she dips her head imperiously, but smiles to you.
I just have myself excused.
I had forgotten to ask about that child, Vendar.
She's more mature than her age would suggest.
You're taking her into these dragon fights?
She might not look it, but she's an incredibly powerful warlock. She can take care of herself, and we take care of her. But yes, she is a part of the fights as much as any of us.
Where did she come from? She, like, looks to Laramendus. She yours?
Laramendus isn't there.
Oh.
Because he's transporting Dragonborn.
Well.
So while he is standing next to her, he is not actually.
Do you come back after transporting the last Dragonborn?
Yes, because he had said that he was going to tidy up.
Okay. And as you come in the room, she simply looks up, like frowning at you, and says, "Is she yours?" You are completely unaware of the conversation that preceded this.
I don't believe so. Who are we? What are we talking about?
As much as she looks it, she's not his. She's actually the Dragonborn's.
No context.
I don't think she particularly looks like me, other than slight elven traits in general. But
she's actually an orphan from Evangard that tracked down our party and has effectively been adopted by our paladin, the unconscious Dragonborn that had to be dragged up the... Yes, it turns out she's far more responsible than her pseudo-father.
If the NPC looked at me for a second when they said the
Dragon
was dead, I'm gonna shake my head no. For me,
given that she has no context, no understanding of anything about the group dynamic, when they say the Dragonborn, I guess she probably would have looked over at you. So you just shake your head at her. She goes, you sort of see her just raising the eyebrow and nodding, like, okay, not you.
And while all this is happening, I'm seeing if there's any more food left over, kind of getting a last little plate.
Sure. Like, no, not on the table. No, not on the table!
But how else could you reach the food in the back? I know you would say, walk down the table to, the middle where you can reach more, but, that's so much walking.
I'm 7 feet tall. I should hopefully be able to reach the other side of the table.
No, I mean, the long way.
Oh, okay.
He just leans from where he is.
He does just walk down the table. On top of the table.
Don't mind if I step on the food, do you?
He's over there just, scooping things for himself onto a platter.
The last little nibble before the night before bed.
I trust that the ones in their cups were taken to a room shown you by the house servants?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Actually, no, he will say yes, and then he will say, I had requested a larger area for us to be in because there's some magic that I'm needing to do. And
it's safe for the house?
Yeah, perfectly safe.
She nods.
So we are borrowing their quarters.
I suppose it would only be proper for me to formally thank each of you for looking out for my son these past few months.
He has been a pleasurable companion and a good friend.
She smiles at that. I know that things were probably difficult all those months ago, but appears to me that the travel has been good for him. So, and he's still alive, which I have all of you to thank for that. So, thank you. So long as you do not burn it down, you will always have a home here with me. All of you.
Larmindus smiles and, like, very, very genuinely, a bit of surprise, and says, "Thank you."
She smiles back, though you can tell that she has a lot of things on her mind, so it's not as broad or joyful as your own. It is what she can muster to let you know that she means it, and this is something she wants to offer. I expect that we will be entertaining my daughter and perhaps her new husband this evening, so if you could make sure the area stays presentable, at least until her arrival, I would greatly appreciate that. It shouldn't be long from now.
We can make quick work of what we need to do here.
Good. Then I shall leave it in your clearly capable hands, and since the other two have been extricated, I trust that it will remain presentable for when Lilith and Garant arrive. Do remember that we are hosting royalty. So, and she sort of, like, wiggles her fingers at you collectively, because look nice.
I look to Leah.
No, Leah's not there anymore.
Leah went upstairs.
Leah left.
Oh,
No more Leah.
my screen was elsewhere at the moment.
What time is it right now?
Sun has set a little bit after sunset, so I don't know, like 8 p.m.
Oh god, those two got wasted that early?
Yeah,
I
they
am-
down like 30 drinks in an hour.
This was a race to the grave, and they won.
Okay. Okay, so then
Brewer
this
won.
probably... I'm not gonna be too much of a pig with grabbing a bunch of food. I thought it was later than this.
Later than it's pretty late. Like, people go to sleep when the sun goes down. Usually, this is a city, so like they got lanterns to burn. But like,
To be fair, past 8 o'clock is kind of late for hosting somebody.
Okay, fair enough.
After family.
family, royalty, they say jump. Anyway, it is 10:30, so I think we'll call it there.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Everybody good with that?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Or Raiken. We'll
Alright.
get to meet them.
I mean, perhaps not
You
tonight.
met them before.
Sure, Raiken, you did meet Lilith once before. So everybody please take 1100 XPs.